Yeah, here we go.
Chicka, chicka. Yeah.
Kill Bill and Rev. We don't suck.
You're all fools. Every one of you. It's the We Don't Suck podcast. Suck my dick.
And we have a special guest, long time no FrankJavCee.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy FrankJavCee, and as of late, I've become the new spokesperson for Olive Garden.
Damn.
That's hot.
Tell us about that.
So, I was up like 24 hours and I couldn't sleep, and that's usually when my best creative work strike. Oh, and it actually goes way deep. So recently there was a giant vaporwave music festival in New York.
Oh, Electronicon, is that it?
Yeah, I was there. I was hosting the live stream for George Clanton because George Clanton was doing like a bunch of things, and he had like this vision of like where it was like MTV, and I had like a little Bluetooth microphone, and I would just walk around. Me and him would interview and talk to people. But then the day of the show, he was like super busy, so my friend who I was staying with decided to be the other like news reporter, and he's like really extroverted and he's like a puppy. So like he was like really being interactive and stuff. So we walked around Elsewhere Hall, which is like this big music venue in New York, Brooklyn actually, and we interviewed people and talked about vaporwave. And if you want to check that out, check the 100% Electronicon YouTube channel and go to the Electronicon live stream where you'll see me interview people.
Oh shit.
But it was crazy because I met like a shit ton of people that I've known on the internet for like 5 years, but in real life. And it was
That's nuts.
It was like a spiritual moment. It was also weird because like everyone was looking at me. It felt like I was at like a giant, like I felt like I was in high school, but everyone knew I had like an STD or something, or like some sort of like yeah, like some sort of like rumor was spread about me, like I had sex with a teacher or something. So like everyone, wherever I walked, people would just look at me and then like be like, yo, is that Frank? Or they'd whisper, and then like sometimes someone would come up to be like, hi Frank, can you sign my cassette? Can you sign my vaporwave fucking VCR? And I was like, okay, cool. But it was fun. It was an interesting experience. And I met this one dude, 3D Blast, who I've known since like 2016. He does like future funk and he DJs and everything, and he just out of nowhere went on like this Twitter rampage where he's like, I hate olives, and that set off the whole vaporwave Twitter where it split it in half of people that loved olives and people that hated olives.
Damn.
So I knew it was like a controversial kind of topic. So
Damn, I saw that. I saw like the wakes of that because like I follow some of those people. Yeah, and I think I was like Dan Mason or somebody that I follow that was tweeting something about olives and someone else, and I was like, dang, there's a lot of olive talk going
I need
on.
to throw my 2 cents in there. So after having stood up for like 24 hours, I made an olive just video where because like I was at breakfast with my family and I was thinking like, you know what's funny? The Tame Impala bass line that's like do 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 do. Like I felt like that was a punchline to something, and I was like, I should just dance to it. So that's where that olive video came to be, and right now it's like viral on TikTok. Not super viral, but it's getting me followers on TikTok. So that's where I've been trying to promote my new music.
Hell yeah.
I feel that.
That's really tight.
Wait, hold on. I gotta get y'all's stance on this. So what is y'all's opinions on olives? Like, what is the?
We've talked about this before. I mean, I know where you stand, so I'm not gonna say anything. Frank, where do you stand?
I think they're okay.
Yeah, coward centrist. Sorry.
What? I have no strong opinions either way about food. Here's my thing. I hate when people are super picky because, like, I mean, it's edible. Like, I get it. Some people don't like textures and stuff, but like, I'll eat everything.
See, I'm very picky. I like olives. I like only green olives. Actually, I love olives, green olives, but I hate the other olives. They just don't taste that good to me.
You don't like the black olives?
Sounded kind of racist, Rev.
But yeah, no, I do like olives. And Bill, you hate olives, right?
Listen, okay? Look at me through your screens that you can't see me on, okay? I'm a big man. I like eating food. I love food. I'm not picky, okay? But I hate olives.
Oh, wow.
Like not just like hate olives. Like it's like if an olive touches my tongue in some kind of way, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like I really just hate olives. I don't know what it is. And my girl loves olives, bro. She loves olives so much, and she just be eating those around me, and I'm just steadily just throwing up everywhere. It's the floor is covered in vomit. I'm slipping on it.
So like pizza? You don't fuck with olives on pizza?
Hell no, man.
Nah, I don't fuck with olives on pizza.
No, man. I'll eat anything on a pizza, but olive.
How about dick?
I wonder what it's like to have no taste.
Oh shit! He just hated on both of us. Damn.
Why are you gonna do me like that, Frank? We've known each other for 15 years.
I thought that we could play around like that. I didn't know I pushed your buttons that far.
Frank, this is crazy. Like we've invited you here to talk to us. We wanted to give you the honor of getting to talk to us, which is awesome, right?
Yeah,
and
I know.
You
that's
just
like
shit on us.
That's on the $50 tier.
Yeah, you come here into our house, our digital home, and you just shit on our lawn and carpet at the same time. I'm into it.
Wow. So I was gonna say, if you guys launched a Patreon, what tier would it be to be on the podcast?
Oh, $10.
Really? That's a lot of people that are going to be on the podcast.
Just $10. Come on in.
No, we're probably only gonna have a single tier, and none of them are gonna involve allowing people to come on the podcast.
That'd be interesting, though.
It would be interesting, but like, I'm just worried that you'd have to have some sort of contingency plan, because you could have a pretty shitty episode if someone comes on like, hey, I paid $10, can I be on the podcast? And then their microphone sounds like ass, and they don't know what to talk about or how to like engage. Like, we'll try to lead the podcast, but they keep bringing it up, like Israel and Palestine, for instance, and we're like, hey, haha, let's talk about memes, and they're like, hey, yeah, but Israel's taking it too far, and we're like, yeah. So I think it's a little bit of a concern in that regard. I would rather not step into that world.
That reminds me of this one time I was on Anthony Fantano's live stream from VidCon, and some guy like paid him $100 to read like this like really weird like statement. It was like some weird thing about race or whatever, and he was like, I'm not going to read that, but I will take your money. And then like he gave me the money, so afterwards I felt like, wow, I got this racist guy's money.
Anthony felt too like filthy to touch that money, but he thought to himself, well, Frank will take it.
Frank's racist.
Well, maybe he was like, well, he's kind of like foreign, right? So it's not so bad.
I'm a little spicy, let's put it that way.
You are a little spicy, yeah. What kind of, if you could be some sort of like spice, if you were a spice, what would you be?
Like probably like that tamarind, or like that like kind of red spicy kind of like but not like ketchup? Too bad. Nah, ketchup is too soft. Did you know barbecue sauce is just ketchup with like spices in it?
Really?
I can see that.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense, yeah. It always tasted so, like, sweet. Both of them, I guess, taste pretty sweet. Bill, what seasoning are you, do you think?
I'm like a warm jar of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. King. I mean, I like spicy food, but like genetically speaking, I'm pretty bland.
You put mayonnaise on a piece of bread, and then you toast that on the mayonnaise side, and then like it fuses together with like the bread, and it makes like bomb sandwiches.
Oh, that's true. That is true. It is good. I do that when I toast my sandwiches, which is sort of frequently, actually, more frequently than you would think. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
Are you really?
I could be. You don't know. These people don't know.
What type of sandwiches do you like making?
I be going to the deli section, and I'm just like, run it up, bitch, is what I say. And then they're confused.
I went to a bodega for the first time, and I didn't realize that bodegas, like when you order a sandwich, they make it in front of you. And then a mosquito bit me.
Damn. Did you get a refund?
And then I saw a bodega cat, and it was super buff.
That's because it's been fighting mosquitoes.
Well, no, it had to fight the other cats that wanted to be the bodega cat. So it has to fight its way into the bodega.
They have to go through like a Mortal Kombat style tournament to become the bodega cat.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do have to be the fittest cat to survive like a Brooklyn corner store.
You see it walk past around the corner, turn his head and go meow.
No, for real, he was beautiful, and then he rubbed himself on me, and I felt love.
Rubbed himself off on you?
Yeah.
Nice.
With his Barbie cat-like penis.
Okay, so Frank, welcome back to the podcast. I just wanted to say I've missed you. I still do miss you. It's been...
Aw, I miss you too, Rav.
There's been a hole in my chest ever since I left LA. I miss the three of us hanging out together.
Yeah, we create a nice chord.
I did quite enjoy us hanging out. One of the times that I remember specifically was us going to the laundromat and playing the Neo Geo.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, it was a sweaty walk, but we made it.
I liked when we were in Little Tokyo and I accidentally found that karaoke place and we did karaoke just randomly.
Oh yeah,
that was fire.
That was real fun.
That was fire.
Didn't we also go all together to Ralph's one time and you took a shit, Bill?
Yeah, we definitely went to Ralph's because you guys couldn't take shits inside the RV.
Oh, the RV is something I feel like if we had bullet points, which I do not have bullet points, but if we did have bullet points, the RV would be like a big bullet point.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I wanted to talk about Solar Flare, the EP.
Solar Flare.
By the time this podcast comes out, it would have been out. So, yeah.
But you got to act like you don't know about it until it comes out.
Oh, it's out and everyone loves it. Except for that one guy.
Yeah. Can't believe that Fantano gave it a 6 out of 10.
Do you think he will?
No.
No.
Do you think he'll review
I don't
you?
think he's going to acknowledge it at all.
I don't think he's going to acknowledge it. He doesn't. He's just he hates us. No, but
Yeah.
I don't think I'm glad that we the whole experience wasn't when we went out to LA, we had a certain set of goals in our heads, I think, with me and Bill. And making an EP together was definitely not one of them. And I think that's one of the best things about this EP is just how organically it came about. And it just so happens that, Frank, you are the most recurring producer on the tape.
It was yeah, I got two. I sent you 2 spicy little beats, and then you guys sent me. Well, we were there live. We all recorded it together.
No, it was together. We did the whole. We were in the stew in the RV that smelled like shit.
This stanky ass RV.
It was dark as hell. We turned all the lights off. Y'all remember that? I have pictures from that.
I have video.
Day.
I actually have a video on my laptop that I filmed of you guys. Just I think it was Bill just recording, and I just filmed.
Oh shit! Send us that.
Yeah, it's a.
We'll do stuff with it.
It's a very good slice of life.
I remember. I don't remember which song we did first. Was it the
I think it was Smoke Alone first.
Right.
So yeah. By the way, we're gonna refer to these songs by the names that we had going into the process because we're not the types of artists to be this is going to be the song name before we're even done with the song.
Yeah, it evolves.
Yeah, it kind of becomes its own thing. So the session was called Smoke Alone. I think we did Smoke Alone first. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I did because I remember like my verse like 5 billion times and I was real embarrassed. I was like, right here in front of my new friend, I'm going to fumble the verse. Someone's going to pass me the ball and I'm going to have Butterfingers.
I like how you were thinking that. Meanwhile, Frank was just like probably tripping balls on the
I was
cookies.
eating the chocolate things and I was just like tripping out.
Edibles.
Like I was like low key like freaking out.
Yeah, you were like, this is crazy, and I was like, right? And meanwhile, Bill is like, oh fuck, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm not usually like this. Oh fuck. I think you were a lot more worried than we should have been.
Yeah.
You know what it was? The smell.
Yes.
The smell is what threw me off the most because it was like a foreign. Like it was something I had never smelled before.
It was so bad. It was such a bad stench in there, but I think it allowed for. I think that's what was tripping Bill up too. Like it's just like adds something. That smell definitely adds something to the experience.
When you rapping, there's a lot of oxygen going into your body because you take really big inhales. And I think what was happening was like I was doing like the equivalent of like secondhand Jenkem.
Ooh.
Like I think that was what was going on, and my brain was starting to shut down a little bit.
What's Jenkem?
Oh, okay. Yo, Rav, you want to take this one or? You want me to?
Dude, I mean, I feel like you'd be so good at explaining this. I mean, how about we both take turns?
Okay, I'll start. So Jenkem is when you well, you can pee and poop, but poop is the big one. It seems to be. You poop inside of like some sort of a bottle or like something like a jar.
Why?
You know? Well, no. There's more. Okay, you poop into it, and then you take a balloon, and you put you put it over the top of it, right? And like airtight, and then you put it out in the sun, and then what happens, Rav?
Well, then you wait. I don't remember how long exactly, but let's say a couple of days for it to ferment and sort of bubble up, so that it fills the balloon with wonderful gases. And then you release the balloon carefully, you know, wrapping your hand around it so that no deliciousness escapes. And then you hit that shit.
Yeah, and you actually, like, for real, from what I understand, is you actually will like hallucinate and shit. Like you'll like full on like trip off your own shit. Stank.
The way you said it.
So in a sense, we were all high off of Jenkem that day, you know, from that
we had
RV
secondhand Jenkem in our system.
I could see that because it did have like just like this weird, just surreal vibe.
It was very surreal for sure.
I want to know, what's your opinion? Okay. Because just for everyone we talked about this on the podcast, but the reason why it smelled bad in there was like we went from Airbnb to Airbnb like quite often. Like I think we were at 3 places total. Yeah.
Yes.
3 places total. So the first RV, you couldn't shit in the RV because it was they said that the plumbing wasn't like strong enough for it. Or you could shit, but you couldn't wipe.
Ew.
That's what they said.
Like
That's what they said.
Yeah, you couldn't wipe. And I was like, okay, then what's the point? Let's just go down to the Ralphs and shit instead, or just shit. You know, we shat in so many places.
Yeah.
But like, I think we shat in there like one time because it was like, I can't remember what it was, but it's like, it's anytime, even if you like peed in there and stuff, like it would just smell bad. Like it would smell awful. Yeah. And you would air it out. We get Febreze. Nah, like nothing. It was just kind of, you're stuck with that smell.
I felt bad for Bill because basically the toilet was positioned between his room and the living room. Like you couldn't go to his room without walking through the toilet. Also, this is an RV. The doors aren't really doors. So everything's just like bad. And I was the furthest away from the toilet. So I got less of the Jenkem experience during the night, but still, I mean, I remember you shit in the Guitar Center, you shit in a Ralph's toilet, you shit in at least a couple of fast food joints, I'm sure, right? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was like I would strategically like work around like my shit schedule. I'd be like, oh, well, I need to go to Ralph's, but I'll wait until I have to take a shit.
Oh yeah,
and go.
We've deposited our logs all over LA.
I just can't. Like
state.
The thing that like is fucking with me is getting high on your own supply.
Literally, right? So
the true own supply. It's actually in that Biggie song where he says "Never get high on your own supply." It's not about crack. It's about Jenkem.
It is about Jenkem. Actually, also just going back to that song "Smoke Alone." For those that are unaware what the song is that we're referring to, it's Sunny Day. We recorded Sunny Day.
That's the one. I can never remember the name of that one for some reason.
We recorded Sunny Day and Frostbite in that RV the same day, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, Frostbite was originally titled Goth GF.
Oh yeah.
That's a real banger, a real hoot of a banger.
So yeah, we recorded both of those. No, that whole experience was so much fun. Besides the smell of shit permeating our environment, it was a fun ass experience. And I know that I like to create sort of an atmosphere throughout like a recording process. I like no lights, for instance, when I record personally. I find that they get in the way of just me kind of channeling.
Rav likes no lights. I like no pants.
I was actually gonna say something about that. Do you guys know Captain Beefheart?
Yeah.
Yeah, they recently, like, it's like an old like 60s interview about like how you make music and stuff like that. And one of the things he says is like you have to like play guitar in like a damp environment. You have to make sure if you get sweat on your guitar, it has to stay on the guitar to make it stanky, because like the more stanky it is, like the better the music, or like weird stuff like that. But I feel like we also were in like this like prime position where like who was it? Like I know it's like some like deep south rappers, like they used to record in like, you know, like basements that were like during the summer and it was hot and humid, but like somehow they had like the most fire tracks come out of it just because of like the situations they were in.
Oh yeah, like Outkast, Goody Mob. Yeah, all of those people were definitely recording in a basement that I don't think was...
Every Memphis rapper circa like from 1989 to 1996.
Yeah, so hopefully we got that like vibe, like just like a danky, swampy vibe.
Yeah, but I will say that those songs I think turned out very pretty for the environment that they were.
Yeah.
They don't sound like their environment. They sound like, well, I think a large part of that is because you took the reins on the vocal mixes and everything, and they sound very like ethereal and like not of this world almost.
That's what I like going
Most
for.
certainly not like an RV that smells of Jenkem.
Oh yeah, when we were in that second RV, our morning ritual was this. We wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, I go outside. Once I put my clothes on, I go outside and I just start hitting the pen like a maniac, like at least 70 times, and just listening to Sunny Day or Smoke Alone, just over and over and over and over again while I wait for Bill to like do his shit and come out. And
Frank, you ever do that? You ever just get like incredibly stoned and then like listen to something you made like the night before and be like, we did it. We did the thing.
I do it all the time.
I did that so much, especially because with like Smoke Alone, well, with Sunny Day, what hit me was that the way you mixed it and everything, I was just like, damn, this sounds so specific, so unique, and I really liked it, and I love Bill's flow on it so much, and just being out there, I was like, I positioned myself because I'm very particular with my visual intake. So even when I was hitting the pen like a maniac, I was standing by a very specific bush and tree where my view was like a very like, there was lots of greens in it. There was the really deep blue sky and almost no man-made things around, just like some few things here and there. And I was just listening to it over and over again. And that visual with the sonic experience just intensified my whole enjoyment of the music, and I really fucked with it.
That's cool.
That was my ritual for like a few days.
You know what also I remember about that trip? Like when we were in that giant empty house just talking about like spooky shit.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
for
then
sure.
there was just like a giant cow skull like just in the living room, and like as like the night progressed, I got more and more scared.
You got spooked out, bro. It happens.
We did. You were present for when we recorded New Sun as well. That was at the crib.
Yeah, that's where I tried to come in, but then I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I just like chilled on the floor.
Also, I think I got you high again.
Yeah,
I think that's like a recurring theme. Bill
You're
at this
a real
point
ganja
just
gremlin.
Bill knows better. I think at this point, he knows how he likes to work. I find that the less self-conscious I am, the better my process is. Not that self-conscious, but overall I think a lot, and my thoughts are very scattered. I do have ADHD.
Yeah.
So I like to hone in on a very specific feeling and setting and everything. This is why we always record in a dark setting. And as Bill can attest to this, in the past, like when we lived together briefly in South Carolina, I will like do weird stuff, dress up weird, or set up weird things to like, I don't know. It's just like I'm living it. I live the experience sometimes.
Yeah,
and
you have
Bill,
to
for
like.
encouraging.
You really have to set yourself in the position to do something like that. Like I find like maybe sometimes slowing down my role will help me. Like I told you like earlier, like I was sleep deprived when I made like a popular thing, but that was also because I was at like this weird like low frequency vibration. But it also like I've recently been thinking about because like I like looking up weird, esoteric, random, like just stuff like about what I'm interested in, and music's one of them. And I remember reading up on I forgot who wrote it, but like they were basically saying music is a magnet, and I started thinking about music as a magnet. So it like draws people together, a certain type of people, a certain type of culture. It makes them like come together all to hear like the same music. So like even when we did our backyard show, like everyone there was just drawn by this magnet known as music to be there in that one spot on that particular time. But I also feel like in order to get that magnet to work, sometimes you gotta like, because when you think really fast, it's a high vibration, you know, like when you're very frantic, it's like really high. But sometimes to get in touch with everyone, you need to go really low. Like it has to be like a bass tone that brings people together. Because like at the end of the day, like especially on like in a frequency spectrum, people kind of come for the bass, you know, like they want to feel themselves being shook into their core. So like when you're in that altered state, like sometimes it could be good, but sometimes if you like overdo it, I don't know, like the repercussions of that. But like you kind of just like harmonize with everyone when you're at like a low state.
I think it is that partially, and also as Bill knows, I'm a very whenever I do indulge in the plant, I am a functioning person. I think it's another thing that, I mean, both of you guys are, I think, aware of this. Like throughout our time there, I think I was, if I wasn't puffing a joint, a blunt, eating edibles, I was probably hitting the pen every few seconds, right?
Yeah.
I never found that it dulled my way of thinking necessarily, or how creative I would get, or change much about me. I think I was still pretty much myself. It just kind of paced me a little bit better. And it just, I felt like I didn't have to overanalyze things. And I think that's one of the most important things sometimes, is just to let things happen and not overthink shit. I don't know. What do you think, Bill?
Like for me, like when I smoke, I think on higher vibrations than I normally would, if that makes any sense. Like a lot of times, like especially like if I'm like awake and I smoke, I feel like I'm like very like I overanalyze everything and I become more self-conscious. Yeah. And it makes me like a shittier rapper. Like not necessarily like by myself, but around people. I like analyze things instead of just kind of like going with the flow.
See, so that's the opposite of basically what it does to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's kind of like what you are describing as like you feel like that when you're not smoking. Yeah. And then when I am smoking, I feel like that. And that's why like that's like another reason why I wouldn't like smoke during the day and stuff, is because I get, especially around people I don't know that well, you know, I'll get like kind of like nervous about just like life just everything.
Yeah.
And I analyze everything. Like I'll like look at someone and I'll be like, it's like, let's say I'm like really super stoned and I don't know someone and they give me just kind of like a look that's normal, or if they just happen to have like resting bitch face or something, I'll be like, wow, they hate me.
Right.
Like, I don't know why. It'll just be like the first thing that comes in my head.
Well, yeah, for me, like when I smoke, my mood doesn't fluctuate as much. I think I know what to predict. Whereas when I'm sober, I'm more susceptible to sort of like different influences. And just for the record, ever since I left LA, I haven't smoked a single time. Whoa. So just people know that I don't usually record when I'm high. I don't have like a particular way that I record necessarily. I kind of record in different moods, different ways. And I probably only smoke like these days maybe once or twice a year. By once or twice, I mean like periods. Like I have like a week or a month period where maybe I indulge a lot, but then the rest of the year I don't really, I find I don't really need it. It's just that if it's around, I like it. And in LA, unlike here, where I live in London, I don't want to buy weed here because a lot of it has traces of fucking feces on it. Plus, the weed here smells like shit.
Good, bro.
I know, that's that good shit, right? But in LA, because it's regulated and it's sold properly and everything, it just kind of felt like, okay, I can. And also, I love the pen because I didn't expect it to hit as hard as it did, and it doesn't leave a smell, and doesn't stain your teeth the way like smoking ordinarily would, right?
Yeah.
So I was enjoying that that part of the experience. But
what we needed in the RV was to, instead of the pen, like the amount of times you smoked the pen, we should have just smoked like big blunts in there, because it would have smelled better than it already did, no matter if it
would have
smelled like straight
it would have
blunt smoke.
So what are some of your favorite memories of the three of us hanging out? Like, I'd like to start and say that the Cards Against Humanity, we were playing with Dom as well, I remember. The Cards Against Humanity that's that whole experience was fun
playing
as fuck.
Cards Against Humanity on the floor on top of like a piece of like brown paper that was just like on the floor for no reason. Yeah, those are good
that's right. Shit,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's like it's like the same consistency as like brown paper bags.
And you know that tape that was around the paper bag, we would like strip some of it to so that we could stick the diapers to the door to create a booth.
Oh my God.
And in the booth we had the diapers taped to the door, and then what was it? A body pillow in the corner that collected the bass and stuff. And we ended up creating an actually pretty functioning recording booth. It was fun.
It worked.
Yeah,
very well.
One of my favorite memories was when we were in Little Tokyo, and we went to that, I think it was the bookstore that had like all the like really good manga and shit, like the art books. Do you guys remember like just walking around in there?
Yeah,
I do.
Well, I had this internal moment, which was like really weird for me. Okay, because like I mean, fuck Rav. I've known Rav since he was like 7 years old. Okay, but it was like we were walking around, and at that point, it was kind of like, yeah, Frank's my buddy. You know, like we were like, yeah, like this is like I know him now. Like we're friends. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is my like while I'm in LA, like this is my homie. You know what I mean? And then then I had this moment where you did something really funny. I can't remember what it was. You just like said a joke or something that was really funny. And then like I had this like weird like, holy shit, I'm like hanging out with FrankJavCee. Like this like
holy shit,
dude I've been a fan of for like a long time. You know what I mean? And it was just like this like weird like this is cool. Like,
also that photo that photo you took of Bill like picking up that hentai manga was hilarious. It's still one of my favorite photos.
I just like the little like it was just a slice of life moment. We were just like chilling in Little Tokyo. There was like a lot of moments. I think the show would be like the top one, because like there was so much anxiety and pressure that after it was all through, it just felt like a weight lifted off like my shoulders.
Oh yeah,
that was like a big moment. Also, especially like that it was like super indie and DIY. Like it just felt like very, I don't know, it felt real, it felt raw, it felt like emotional.
I also like how it was like a lot of the acts were mad different.
Yeah,
like it was like Dom, Sad Kid, Shango, you, then us, and then Tyler Cole. Like all of us were like very different. Like, I mean, like you could obviously like a lot of us have worked together and stuff, but like stylistically, like if you were to listen to you and then listen to like Tyler Cole or listen to like Dom or someone like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like you wouldn't really expect us to be playing a show together, but like the crowd just like ate that shit up. Like they were really into it.
It was like a festival. It felt like a festival, didn't it?
Yeah, you guys threw your own little music festival.
We did it, and it was cool. And there were fireworks.
Were there?
That we didn't pay for. It just happened naturally.
Oh, I thought those were gunshots.
Oh no, there were fireworks behind the artists in the distance.
Should just left it. Like, oh, and then like there.
That's what they are, right? Like it was like a single sizzle, but yeah.
Yeah. And they're screaming.
And the screams that followed.
When do you guys want to come back?
Tomorrow.
Really? Okay.
I'll be outside your door. I know where you live.
That is true.
So I'll just be there.
In an ideal world, I honestly think Bill should move to Los Angeles. I feel like that would be a good move for Bill.
I don't know if I can afford it right now. And I also have some other life stuff going on. But yeah, definitely I would like to. I like the West Coast a lot. Like I feel like I'm like more at home there than here. I feel like it's like everyone's on a similar wavelength.
Yeah, super chill. We all talk about vibes. We're all like, you know what I like about, okay, so I've only ever been to LA and New York. Like those are the only two cities I've ever been to. But like in New York, I feel like everyone's hustling, but in LA, like everyone's just playing pretend together. Like we all have like this weird kind of improv that we're always just doing.
Yeah.
But I feel like the pretend is so powerful. You know, I know it may come across as like it's just pretend, but whenever I'm in LA, I feel like more stuff is actually happening.
Yeah.
And that people aren't too bogged down by like, logistics. It's more like, oh shit, we should do that. Dude, that's a dope idea. Let's. and that's all it takes. And I really do love that. I've been to LA a handful of times now, and I definitely think of it as like a second home. I'm actually going back to the States this December. I'm going to be in Texas. Hey, Texas, if we were to throw an EXO show in Texas, who would come? Would anyone be interested? Just a hypothetical.
Where in Texas?
Austin.
Oh, wow. I think I actually have a friend in Austin.
Don't lie to me.
Okay.
Okay, lie to me a little bit.
No, but like, I've met these like weird, like, they're not weird, but they're interesting dudes at Electronicon. They're like, what is it? Biomechanical engineers whose sole purpose is to extend the life expectancy. And like,
wow.
Yeah, so I was talking to them because like I'm really into like neurology, and like he's like a PhD guy with like a neurology background. And I actually did I tell you I've been shocking my brain?
You told me that.
You haven't told me that.
Okay, so
it's good for you.
Yeah, I recently bought these headphones. They're called like the Halo 2 Sport. And basically, it creates like it's like a transcranial direct current stimulator. So it basically shoots like really small volts of electricity into your scalp, which gets picked up by the motor cortex, which actually makes you move 40% faster. Like there's actual scientific proof that stimulating that part of your brain will make you move faster. And they recently showed that like if you do like left and right hemisphere differently, it'll make your fingers move faster. So musicians have been like testing it out and trying to like I don't know, just play faster, learn faster. It's also like brings up your mood and stuff. So I bought like a kit just to see what it was like, and I've been like just shocking my brain when I work out or like when I play music, and like I feel a little bit more clearer, if that makes any sense. Before I got it, like I felt kind of muddy, but like for some reason like this like harmonically fixes my frequencies to like a point where it's like, oh, I suddenly feel more clear or more zen. So I've been like chilling by shocking my brain.
Shit. Have you ever tried it on your junk?
What?
I said, have you ever tried it on your junk?
No, but it doesn't work that way. It has to be on your head.
Nah, useless.
How about the head of your dick?
Next topic.
Get it? Okay, so what I was gonna ask was, what does it like physically feel like? Like what is the like
tingles? It just feels like a little tingly. Sometimes it gets kind of itchy.
It's hot,
but that's because I have a lot of hair. It's an interesting, because like I've always been really interested in the brain, and when I met these dudes at Electronicon who are like neurologists, and they're trying to get like funding, like their whole business thing is they're trying to get funding by big like apps to like fund their research on like, I think it's like cell rejuvenation, or like to make cells like replicate better, or I don't know, just like something about like the cellular makeup and make it like young again. Basically they're looking for the fountain of youth, but with science. And like I was like, that's cool, but tell me more about the brain, because I fuck heavy with the brain. Like even like with music, like when we listen to music, our brains like synapses go in rhythm and they get in sync to whatever we're listening to.
Yeah, I majored in psychology, and primarily I did psychoanalysis and neurology, so I used to fuck with the brain too.
I still fuck with the brain today.
Nah, man, I'm lame now. These days, I don't fuck with much shit. You know,
all I do is get brain.
Whoa,
that's a lie.
Whoa.
That's a lie. I'm in a committed relationship.
Okay, that's fair.
So I just get brain sometimes from one person.
So since you were talking about getting brain, who's getting the best head right now?
Oh, definitely Theodore.
Those memes are so bad. For some reason I look at them and I'm like, is society really this fucked up?
I saw this thing where it was like it was that, but it was who's getting the best Kanye West album right now. And it was like where they were like getting domed up. It just had like beautiful dark twisted fantasy, Jesus, and the other like a different one.
Yeah, no, that meme's pretty good. Actually, speaking of memes, Frank, you made me discover something the other day where you ran your album art through like this site that basically tries to read the body language or the person on it and like identify what kind of person that is or what they're feeling.
It's called like image roulette or something like it's basically
some shit like that.
Yeah, it's an AI that like looks at you and like prejudiciously like judges you based on like all these already like inputted library commands.
I put a picture of Joe Biden in there and it said he was a Klansman.
Wow.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And also I put a picture of me and it said, I put a picture of Rav and it just said an unusual human. That's what it said. And then I put a picture of me and I keep getting skinhead and closet homosexual.
Well, that's
so
this thing works very well.
Yeah, obviously, you know, life imitates art, bro. Like that's definitely me to a T, you know. So
it always gives me like motorcyclist or snorkeler or someone who travels. It's weird because I don't travel a lot, but all my stuff says I'm a traveler.
You have a traveler's energy.
Thanks.
I could put you anywhere and then they'd be like, yeah, he belongs there.
I want to go to Egypt.
That'd be sick.
Ooh, I've been to Egypt.
How is it?
Hot.
I'd imagine.
Is it hot or is it hot?
I mean, it was fun. I don't remember what I think I spent most of the time I was young. I always like in a hotel watching Dragon Ball in Portuguese.
Ooh.
And Dragon Ball Z in Portuguese. I don't remember if it was Portuguese or some other language, but one thing I remember, whoever the character was, oh man, I was so young. I don't remember whether it was Frieza or someone else, but their voice was like, they had two voices at the same time, like layered together, and it wasn't a fusion or anything. They just kind of, that's the direction they chose to go with. And I remember it sounding fucking terrifying. And I was like, and it was like a dope ass experience. And also like I watched music videos then. I remember D12's My Band came out around that time. For some reason, that's what I remember. It was pretty cool. It was like the good parts are really good and then the rest are like less good. And around the pyramids and stuff like that, it's not as clean as I expected it would be, you know? It looks like it felt very tainted in a weird way. But at the same time, it felt like epic and so important somehow, you know? Like you look around, you're like, damn, this was something, and now it's this. No disrespect to anyone living in Egypt, but
it was a thing, and now it's a different thing.
If you're living in Egypt, you know what I mean too. I feel like, you know, it feels like it still has so much potential to it too. It's just some I don't know. I felt a bit morose about Egypt, and I was listening to a lot of Michael Jackson when I was out there. I was really young. And I wrote a bunch of songs. This was like way before I even started recording on cassette tapes or anything. So I was just writing music at night, in the night, looking out in, like the sky out the window, the night's Egyptian sky. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but here you go.
It's so interesting. Well, the reason I bring up Egypt is I was at a karaoke place this weekend and it was like Egypt themed and it had like pharaohs and sphinx like on the wall, and one of them had King Tutankhamun, and like I took a picture next to it, and then like I thought up a good like caption where it's like, call me King Tutankhamun because I'm tootin' and coming.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, Tootin' and Coming. Dude, I love that. I was like, damn, that's my friend right there. I am proud.
That's good.
Also, guys, I just ran my face through the ImageNet roulette thing. And Bill, this will make you feel good about yourself. It says, white face, a clown whose face is covered with white makeup. So
yeah, is that picture taken before or after you thought Bob Marley sang the Cops theme song?
So anyway, moving on.
You thought Bob Marley sang the Cops theme song?
Dude, just
I'm
look.
sorry.
Just look. I'll explain, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not smart sometimes, and I don't know why for the longest time I was on some like Mandela effect type shit. I was just like, since when I was really young, I got the idea that was like a Bob Marley song. And I'm a huge Bob Marley fan, which makes it all worse. It's just it was like my least favorite song, so I never came back to it really. But I always just assumed, oh, that's a Bob Marley song. Okay, cool. And now when you listen to it, it doesn't sound anything like Bob Marley, right? But as a kid, I don't know. Like you get misinformed once and you run with it, and for like a long time, you're just convinced of it. And I definitely
that's how it works.
About it.
As soon as I hear that song, I know I'm in for a good time.
Of course. Yeah, but that realization happened mid podcast because he said something about it, and I could feel like an avalanche, but I didn't want to say anything. At first I wasn't going to say anything, but then I was just like, if I leave that in there, if I take it out, this is going to be weird because it's like we're in the middle of a conversation, we take that out. But if we leave it in there, then everyone's gonna say like, God damn, Rav thinks that. So I was just like, yo man, I don't think that's a Bob Marley song. And it became this like a whole like thing, like it was half the episode.
The thing is, we could have easily cut it out, that's the thing, like we could have cut it out.
Then we wouldn't have a good episode.
Have you ever seen, I know it's like a hip-hop like radio show where like this one guy's talking about like shitting in his hand. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah. He's just like, y'all don't shit on the toilet paper on your hand.
Oh, I seen that. He catches the doo-doo with a toilet paper in his hand.
I saw that the other day, and I started screaming because like his whole life nobody has ever told him, hey, that's not how you take a shit.
But my question is like, what would make you think like, oh, like what is he doing, catching it then putting it in the water? Like what's the
situation there?
Yeah, what is he doing with the shit? Is he like throwing it away?
Maybe, dude, he's saving it for later. Was he just scared of it splashing in the water, and so he was just basically like easing the shit into the water?
Yeah.
In which case, like, it also depends what kind of toilet you have. You know what I mean? There's the toilets where it's just like it's a straight up fucking pond, and you just deposit logs in there. And like if you have like the long logs, then you're good because it shouldn't splash. But if it's like the tiny little deer droppings, like you don't want the pee water to be, spanking your cheeks. So maybe he was like, hold up, let me like lower these into the water by catching them with the toilet paper in my hand.
So this entire podcast has just been us talking about like various ways you can like shit.
I like it.
I mean, what's wrong with that? That's basic. That's more highbrow than our ordinary podcast episodes, I would say.
I mean, I fuck with it. Everybody poops. I used to have that book. I got it at the zoo once.
You got it at the zoo?
Yeah, the Everybody Poops book.
Why was it at the zoo?
Because it has animals in there.
Oh, animals also poop. Yeah, they do.
And you know what I was doing? I was up to 4 a.m. playing Link's Awakening on the Switch.
How is it?
I like it. It's weird though because like it's like spoon feeding you a nostalgic kind of like thing, but like only with today graphics. Mm-hmm. But it's the exact same game, only with better music and graphics.
Well, better puzzles too. I've heard they have updated like a bunch of stuff. It's not just like a reskinned version of the game. They've like updated it in many ways to kind of match the expectations.
Yeah, they made it so like certain like commands are on like buttons instead of you having to switch out. Because like in the original game, they only had 2 buttons, so you had to constantly switch out. But this one, it just gives you like new abilities on new buttons, and like I like it so far. I'm on like
I was really thinking about getting it.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, one thing I liked is like it combines the like old school sound with like new instrumentation. So like it'll have like a harp, but it'll also have like a sawtooth wave or like an 8-bit kind of like do-do-do-do, but they mix it together so it has like an interesting texture.
That's tight. Hold on, I did want to say there's something that I wanted to come back to earlier. I've been struggling to come back to it, but I want to come back to it because I want to get y'all's opinion on it. Okay. So earlier you brought up D12. And it just, I spent the majority of my Friday evening Googling pictures of Eminem wearing a do-rag.
Right, as you do.
As one does.
There are several. I'm talking about not several. Like there's like dozens of pictures of Eminem wearing a do-rag on the internet.
Yes.
And I just want to know, like, Why?
I'm actually really into fashion. Like, have you noticed the fashion trend that everyone's wearing high visuals? So they're wearing like things that like are reflective, or they look like construction worker colors, because people just want to be seen.
That's sad. I mean, like, sad as in like, oh, you know what I mean? Not like pathetic. It's more like, oh.
Yeah, but it's like all evolution. So like, I could see like Eminem during that point, he wanted to blend in with like the people he was hanging out with. So he used that as a fashion choice.
I guess that makes sense. So I think that collectively we should just bring back do-rags.
Do it.
Why don't you start doing it? Actually, Bill, you're growing your hair back.
What?
I finally saw a picture of you with your hair.
I was thinking about, I've been growing my hair out a little bit, but I'm not really like, it's not like looking the way I want it to, if it makes any sense. Like, it's just kind of like
because it goes through an awkward stage before you hit like, oh, this is, like, between like, oh, where I am now and where I want to get, there's always that awkward stage, as when you're growing up, that's when you're a teenager. Most teenagers are ugly, smelly, scary, and also are paying our bills, so we appreciate each and every one of you.
Thanks.
But you, Frank, teenager Frank.
Do you know your like actual hardcore demographic? Because like I went through my hardcore demographic, and most of them are born between like 98 and 2002.
Huh? For us, it depends. So for most of our stuff, people are our primary, at least for my stuff and the YouTube, the primary audience is in their 20s, and the secondary audience is in their 30s. Ooh. And the teenagers are the third biggest audience, followed by people over the age of 80. But I think that's because I think a lot of people, when they register for various services online, if they're underage, they just like scroll all the way down to 1901, and that's why it looks like I may have some like senior citizen fans that I doubt I actually have. But yeah, so that's what I've seen from my stats.
I mean, you don't know that, man. You could just have some old grannies just like twerking to some fucking rap
I fuck with it. Hey, I fuck with it. I accept. I mean, why not? Yeah, let's do it. Ooh. What about you, Bill? What's your stats looking like?
I mean, I think mine are like the exact same as yours.
Yeah, I imagine so.
They're like the exact. So. I mean, we're basically. I think most people like that listen to me would listen to you, etc. Like the same kind of. So I think they're pretty much the same. Like I was under the impression, I haven't looked at mine in a while, but I was always under the impression that it was like 20s and then teens underneath that. But like if yours are the way that they are, then mine are probably the exact same.
It could be.
Like if I get a spike in listeners, you get a spike in listeners. Like I've looked, how you can compare artists on the Spotify thing, and you can see like for the past like 2 years or whatever, like literally anytime I get a big spike, you get a big spike. Like it's the same. Like,
well, okay, my Spotify's only really existed for a year. Actually, about a year now. Yeah, and the thing is, the reason why that may be happening is because we were releasing tapes together that would have each other featured. Like, so if we release, let's say, New Moon, and you get a spike, of course I get a spike because we uploaded it for both artists, So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, uploading like with multiple artists is such a good idea because it like neurally links you guys. Like the algorithm's like, okay, these guys work together, and then it like boosts you like on the way up together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't fucking Frank. What's going on, man?
Well, I've been trying to make more TikToks. Like I've been creative, like with thinking of like these new video ideas. I recently turned Kermit the Frog into a puppet, so I'm gonna try to make him dance to music because like I have it set up so you just like wiggle his arms and you wiggle like the puppet like wood thing, and like the strings pull on his arms, and he like dances and stuff. So I want to do something with him, but I don't know what to do with it yet because like I wanted to put him in front of a green screen, but he's green, so like he disappears.
Oh shit! Well, pick a color that like purple or something that won't. Yeah.
But like I also need to think of like the song I want to make him dance to, because like the oh shit there's a ghost meme.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be like kind of like that vibe, but like just walk and be like, yo Kermit, what's good? And then he just starts hitting it like crazy.
I don't have a TikTok. Would you recommend getting a TikTok? And if so, why? What's the purpose? And like,
okay, TikTok has more active users on it than Twitter right now. TikTok's algorithm also promotes people just like randomly. From what I've noticed, it's mostly girls that have been following me, which is weird because I'm like a music producer, like YouTuber, and I talk more about the music engineering behind it. It's a mostly male dominated field. But when I was just like making videos for fun, it's basically Vine. So like I was looking at my stats on my TikTok and it was like 80% girls. And I was like, are you serious? Like that's wild. And then the thing about TikTok is you can't retweet. To retweet, you have to make your own TikTok. You have to create with the audio, or like you do a duet where it's like they'll be on the left and then you're on the right. So it's like to get reposted, you have to also add your own spin to it. So that's how these songs get big, is like someone will be like, oh, that's funny, and then they'll repost it, and then like they'll be like, hey, what's the song? And then they'll look it up, and then like it grows from there. I like it because it's more of like a creative platform than a lot of other social media.
What's your favorite kind of stuff that you like to see on TikTok?
Well, right now, I like just seeing like people doing like creative things that you never thought about. Like I like there's this one thing, it's called like, what's it called? Like Visual Tracer, where it's like people will move and then like there's a delay by like 2 seconds and they're like,
oh yeah, I saw that shit. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and like people be doing like weird shit with that. But like I like when people like get creative or like just like do things that make me laugh. Like one of the first things I remember seeing was like people beating up their phone and then taking off their pants and then jumping on their phone, so like their ass.
Yeah, see that shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like that's just like a good visual meme. Like it's funny. So like I don't know, it's just like people being creative with their phone. One thing about TikTok is it's a lot of it is just people on their phone, because it gives you like the tools to be creative with just your phone.
Mm-hmm. And what is the stuff that you dislike seeing then?
I don't know. I don't follow anyone on TikTok. There's like the algorithm page called For You, where it just shows you like things that the algorithm thinks you're gonna like based on your likes.
The curated stuff, right?
Yeah. So like sometimes like I look at like cursed TikToks on Twitter, and they have like really weird shit, like just people like singing to like metal music or like trying to be sexy when they're like super weird. And like,
yeah,
I think I might have sent you one where like it's like a creepy dude with long hair and he fucks Mario.
Oh yeah, I did. I didn't even know that was a TikTok for whatever reason. I just thought it was a video you found.
Yeah, that made me feel some type of way.
Well, like, okay, I think that a lot of people got an idea of what TikTok is as a platform, like when it first was like making its rounds, because like I would get the ads for it all the time, and the ads would be awful. Like they would be like
hit or miss,
you know, like people like lip syncing and like almost like what Musical.ly was.
Yeah, it was Musical.ly. It was just bought by a Chinese company where they combined to make TikTok.
Yeah, and I think that like when people started figuring out that it was like Vine but better, like the idea of Vine but like more creative tools and stuff, is like when it started to slap. Yeah, but I remember seeing like there's this who's that dude, Jack Stauber? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I love him.
He's like,
yeah,
like he had that song, the Can I Have the Peppermint, that song.
Yeah,
you know, it's too hot for me, and I love that song. Like I think it's like one of the dopest. Like the whole aesthetic, even the video and everything is really cool. And then when I saw that people were like using it on TikTok and just like lip syncing over it in like the cringiest, weirdest ways, like making these faces that reminded me of people that I don't like in person, then I was just like, man, this app is cursed.
Yeah, it definitely. Just that awkward silence.
That was amazing. That was amazing. We all started talking at the same time, and then we all politely stopped and committed to the silence.
That was beautiful. Leaving that bad boy
Frank.
in there.
My bad.
No, you're good. I was gonna say like it's all energy. So when you're like, oh, this like app is cursed, that's like a good thing. Like if you can see something, be like,
I guess that's true.
That's cursed. That it has power.
Well, Bill, what would it take for you to get a TikTok account?
I'm downloading TikTok right now just because we're talking about it.
What kind of content do you see yourself making content for TikTok? And if so, like, what are you thinking?
I'm going to make TikToks where I look real sexy.
Yeah. I just don't know. Like, I'm downloading it now, but I don't see myself using TikTok just because I don't think I'm like, I think of ideas that would suit the platform. You know, I don't think I sit around and kind of ponder this kind of stuff that would fit it, because I just don't think I have that strength that a lot of the people who use TikTok do.
I mean, I think it's a good place to get inspiration from. You find a lot of new music that way too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like,
I guess you would. One
of my favorite things about it that's better than YouTube is you can get away with using copyrighted material. And then one of the secrets that I think that makes TikTok the strongest website right now is it gives you the ability to share on any platform, but it also downloads it to your phone. So you can straight up just download any video off of TikTok really easily.
Oh.
And that's why these things get viral, because as soon as you download it, what are you going to do? You can post it anywhere, and it goes everywhere. It's like a virus.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Bill, I want to see you start frequently using it.
I would probably do it. I could probably. I feel like I have TikTok energy. I can flex my muscles on there.
Ask your fans to make TikToks to your music, and then maybe you guys could do a video where you just react to them and you watch them together.
Oh God, that actually is a really good idea. I really would like to see Rav's face and
yeah, no, that'd be pretty fun. Well, shit. Well, Frank, thank you for turning us onto the new Zoomer wave.
Yeah, no problem. I'm always looking for the future.
Yeah, you certainly are, and we really appreciate you. And I mean, I've said this before, but I miss you. I don't know. I don't think Bill misses you, but I miss you.
I don't know. I just completely
I can feel that energy.
Of course. I miss you a lot. You're actually one of the biggest things I miss about LA. Just hanging out and
every time we hung out, just something happened. Like I like when I hang out with people and like things just happen. Like
yeah,
like when we combine together, like it's just like things are always happening.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Oh, another thing before we go, I wanted to say the another fun memory was that listen to you DJ.
I forgot about that.
It was like in the back of a barber shop.
Yes.
Yeah, that shit was so much fun.
Yeah, that was fun as fuck.
I've been actually trying to DJ more. Like I've been like promoting myself as like, hey, I'll DJ your party, and like I'm actually getting like all these offers now just because like of like very like I'll just show a few clips. Like recently I DJ'd like this random party in Hollywood, and there was like people dressed up in like furry outfits and alien outfits, and it was interesting. And I just played like a few songs, but like it's good to make people move. Like I like that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. I did that as a profession, but it was weddings and it was awful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't actually awful. It was still pretty fun, but it was interesting.
Well, next time we're out in LA, I'm definitely grabbing my camera so we can capture some of the moments that we experienced.
Yeah, let's just vlog. Like just film.
Yeah. Yeah, plus I think we have a lot of like creative energy between the three of us that sometimes just things, as you said, happen, and it'd be nice to like be able to capture that for sure.
I remember when we went to the library.
Yo, I forgot about that shit. We went to the library of like all places, and we were just walking around.
Oh shit! Yes, I forgot. I was so gone.
That was in where were we in Los Feliz?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just walking around the library.
Oh my god! Yeah,
educating ourselves.
That was a whole ass wave.
Oh, next time you come over, we have to go through the arts district. I've been looking at the arts district. I low-key want to move there, like get a artist loft there and just live there. But like, there's a lot of really interesting things to do around the arts district.
Hell yeah, let's go arting.
There's like an arcade bar down there, and then there's like a circus, a burlesque circus that has like VR games and like circus foods. Like it just opened up recently. Like I think those would be interesting places to hit up.
I want to have sex with George Bush, and I don't care who knows it.